Hey guys, welcome back to This Are My Thoughts video. Today we are going to talk about the new Legends of Monkey on Netflix, season 1 and 2. So I will say that the reason I decided to watch it, I didn't even know that there was 2 seasons. I thought that was just like a randomly new thing. No, it's 2 seasons. It's already been out, but I'm late to the game. But here are my thoughts anyway. So just from watching the trailer that came out with, I think, season 2, I thought it was really interesting and funny. I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a humorous adventure type thing. It was kind of giving me a little bit of Avatar vibes. Don't kill me for that. I know it's not exactly Avatar, not even in the same ring, but those are the vibes I was getting. So I was like, you know what, I love Avatar. I'm gonna give this a shot. So upon actually like watching the show, I did still think it was funny and intriguing and like mysterious because I'm like curious about where it's going, but I felt a little, I don't know, I felt like it was lacking something. I'm not sure what it is yet. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, if you've watched New Legends of Monkey, please let me know how you felt, cause I'm like, I don't know what it is. I can't find the right word. So let's start with season 1. From the get-go, I really liked the main girl. Her name is Girl, but also Tripitaka. It's confusing. I really liked how she just, to me from the beginning, she was an interesting character because she already was like, when she lived with the scholar in the very beginning, she was like curious and wanted to know, but like also really awkward, which hashtag relatable. Then when, you know, this isn't really a spoiler because it happens in the first episode, when the scholar and the real Tripitaka all like get killed by a demon, she still like pushes forward to complete the scholar's wishes and the mission that she needs to find Monkey and seek out the 7 scrolls and journey to the west. She doesn't really know what she's doing, as most of us don't know what we're doing in our lives, even when there's a goal in front of us. She doesn't really know what she's doing, but she is willing to do so much to ensure that it happens. I also love Monkey because he's so awkward. Like, he's very clearly like, he just oozes hubris and he's like kind of full of himself, but he's also like slightly aware, like he is aware of other people's feelings, especially like once we find out a little bit about his past and like what actually happened. It makes him like a much more relatable, likable character. I will say for Pigsy, I was a little confused because from the trailer I was like, I thought he was on their side, or is he gonna pretend to be on their side for this princess lady? But then, you know, it all turned out well. And then Sandy, it's really strange. I think she's a very interesting character. I'm interested to know more about her. But I think the most interesting thing that I couldn't get over, this is going to sound really stupid, she kind of reminded me of my Aunt Cindy. Like, my Aunt Cindy and her have like the same facial structure, and their hair is very similar. And it was just so weird. I just kept looking at her like, she looks like my Aunt Cindy. I don't know how to feel about this. The villains were also really fun and well thought out, especially our main baddie. He was like the mystery behind who was the actual one in charge was really, really cool, and I think well like played in the proper order. I would really like the villain to continue into future episodes. I mean, it's still open for interpretation, I guess, but I was like, this guy's a really good bad guy. So story-wise, plot-wise, I thought the show was really like, well, it went on a really good plane upward to like the climax. I thought all the fight scenes were fabulous. They were really, really cool and like cinematically beautiful to watch. My favorite scene, again, not really a spoiler, but my favorite scene is when they get captured by the shaman and they're in that weird white box smoky room and their hands are like going down the wall and it's like this smoky black ink stuff. And I thought like that was just really cool. I was like, ooh, I wonder how they did that. I need to know. I equally thought the ending of season 1 was really cool, and how all the little clues that they gave you about each different person's part kind of just came together and played a role. I thought they came together really well. The final battle was a little, like, obviously there's more to the story because they still have yet to find all the scrolls, but I really enjoyed like the climax that came up in the last episode of season 1. So now we're going to talk about season 2. For me, I don't know if I enjoyed season 2 as much as season 1. It felt... Okay, anybody that watches anime will understand what I mean. It felt a little like a bunch of filler episodes, and it felt a little disorganized. I'm not saying that it was, that's just me. Like every episode they were continuing on their journey to find the scrolls, and I know that it's a short season, but it's weird. It's almost as if they found the scrolls super quickly, but there wasn't a lot of like meat to the story. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, the best way I can describe it is like a filler episode where they're journeying and something happens to them, and it's related to them finding the scrolls and will eventually like lead them to finding the scrolls, but it's also like, how is that important to the story? But then on the other hand, there was a lot more about Pigsy and Sandy, which I thought was great. How like Sandy had that whole episode where all the children thought that she was a demon, and like you kind of dig a little bit more into her past. I think she's the character that I'm most interested to know more about because we don't know that much about her, and she's a relatively like new god, so not a lot of people know about her, as opposed to Pigsy, who is like already well known. And I mean, but still we got to know a little bit more about his feelings and how he doesn't like to always be seen as the big guy, that he has more to him. So in that regards, I thought that was really great, like for the story, but I feel that maybe they could have done it in a way, I don't know, I feel like there could have been more connection with the character progress and the plot itself. I don't know. I will give it a little bit of benefit of the doubt because, you know, it's not always about the destination, it's about the journey. And I do think that the journey that they're taking to get to all these places, to find all these scrolls, is really important, but I don't know. So I already talked a little bit about Pigsy and Sandy and their character progress. I have to say that I also like how Tripitaka had a little bit more character progress and how she becomes more of the leader of the group, becomes more like conscious of like what she is capable of and what her duties are. And I also love how she comes to know more of her value, even though she and like all the gods, they know that she's not the real Tripitaka. But I like how they can still like acknowledge each other. And I also think that it's great that she's becoming more of a fighter so that she can defend the scrolls, so that she's not like just this defenseless human that they make her out to be, or at least that Monkey makes her out to be at one point. As far as Monkey's character progress goes, I don't know if he had a whole lot, though it was really confusing towards the end. I'm gonna not say that until I reach a spot where I can like say spoiler, but I guess kind of at the end, the ending's kind of confusing. So I talked a little bit about the plot already and how it was semi-lacking. It was weird. It felt kind of like slow progress, but they were still quick to find 2 of the other scrolls. So I'm not really sure. It's like slow but fast. I don't know. Again, I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I guess I just kind of wish that it was a little bit more challenging to get the scrolls, but maybe it just felt fast because the episodes are only like 20 to 30 minutes. I don't know. So the villains. The villains in season 2 are a little bit more fun and interesting, but they're not as bad as our main baddie from season 1, except Hagfish. I mean, I called it from the moment he was introduced. I was like, this puppet guy is creepy. I think the reason that the season 1 baddie was a little bit more intriguing to me is because, like, especially once you found out that Monkey, like his past, it just hit closer to home, and you're like, oh, this guy is terrible. As opposed to our misfit band of villains in season 2 are I feel like more of a comic relief, even though they do have like the little bit of a twist with the villains, which I totally called. I still was like, I feel like our season 1 baddie was better. All right, it's that time. Spoiler alert. Okay, so the whole shadow monkey thing just really threw me through the loop. Like what? I don't know. Sometimes when there's that whole evil twin thing, I feel like that's just some random plot, get out of jail free card. Because Hagfish was actually a really creepy, like, cool, interesting villain. I was like, okay, called it, but okay. And then he just got killed by Shadow Monkey, and I was like, that's lame. I really kind of wish if they were gonna go that evil twin route, that especially because Shadow Monkey didn't know a lot about the world, that he got some more time to be like, you know, ask questions, and maybe even though he was like made to be evil, like maybe like, I don't know, grown to have a heart or something because he learns more about the world because he doesn't understand everything. I kind of wish if that was the case, that's the route they would have gone. But he was a very short-lived character, and I'm just like, because he was so, like, he was just a plot device used to kill Hagfish, I just feel that there was really, I don't know, like, a get out of jail free card. I really, like, if he wasn't going to be there very long, what was the point of that? And then there was the reappearance of Mycelia, which, you know, I know from like the beginning of season 2, towards the beginning of season 2, there was the whole like, this is the fake scroll of creation. So I mean, I guess it made sense that she had another role to play later on when they got the real scroll of creation, but they already defeated her, and she's already proven that she doesn't think anybody will ever be worthy. Like, I mean, I know she gives them the scroll in the end, but I was just like, really? On that note, why is it that when Hagfish used the fake scroll creation, it didn't affect him negatively or didn't affect Shadow Monkey negatively? I mean, it could be because it was like demon-esque. I was just waiting for something bad to happen to him, but nothing ever did, and I was like, well, that's rude. And then there's the ending. The whole ending was like, again, Shadow Monkey had like a very small window purpose. I feel like he was just made to kill Hagfish, and then Monkey like sacrificed himself into the sun. I almost feel like that would have been a better ending as opposed to the real Tripitaka sacrificing himself so that Monkey could come back, but then also evil Queen Lady from like 500 years ago comes back. At least I'm pretty sure that's what was intended. I don't know. It was a very, and it's not a bad ending. It is still like a cliffhanger. It still makes me want to know what's going to happen next. But it was very, I almost feel like if they had like killed off Monkey and then just kind of like left it, and like there was no, they never got, or they didn't get the scroll of creation, Monkey was killed, and then you just have like all these questions, you're like, what? But instead they decided to rebirth him, that they got the scroll of creation, and that there's a new evil doer. It's not a bad ending, but I would have been more upset if they ended it when they killed off Monkey, because then I'm like, they killed off the main character. Because then, you know, okay, well, they have to come back, right? And I think that would have made a very interesting first episode to season 3. So yeah, that's how I felt about season 1 and season 2 of The New Legends of Monkey. If you have watched it, let me know. If you haven't watched it, are you interested? It is still really interesting. I do love like the concept and the fighting and the outfits. I always love costumes. This is like the sewer cosplayer in me, as you can see my singer machine over here. I think they're really great. I think the characters are really coming into their own, like you're learning more about them and they're developing more, which I love. I think maybe the main thing is like the villains. I feel like if there was one main villain, or maybe one villain that's been pulling the strings the whole time, maybe, I don't know, maybe that could be a twist later. Anyway, let me know how you guys felt, and do you have the same questions as I do about the ending? Because I don't know. Do you have a favorite character? Because I think mine is kind of Sandy, or maybe Tripitaka / girl. I don't know. Until next time, bye!